This map shows just how close is Istanbul and, say, Athens in Greece, or Ephesus. In order for us to get from Athens to Istanbul, we sail across the Aegean Sea, and then there's a very narrow strait that you can see. It's called the Strait of Dardanelles, and you sail up that strait into the Sea of Marmara, and then a second strait called the Bosphorus Strait is what you sail through in order to pass Istanbul, and then you're into the Black Sea. This is how Istanbul would look if we were flying in over the water here. And on the left you can see some place marks of places within the western part of Istanbul. And then the black water beneath us, to the right of that, you can see that's the Asian side of Istanbul. In fact, Istanbul is the only city in the world that spans two continents. Now you can see that it looks like a river. As you go up past Istanbul, you can see this what looks like a river winding its way into that body of water across the top in light blue, which is the Black Sea. And we're going to look at some sights momentarily. Here we've zoomed in even closer, and this is the old part of Istanbul, which in ancient times was Constantinople. And some items of note: notice the Blue Mosque, and behind it is the Hagia Sophia. We're going to be touring those, and you'll also notice that you look in front of, or to the left of, the Blue Mosque. You'll see some standing obelisks, and we'll talk a little bit about those too. You can see the black water, which is the Bosphorus Straits, and if you look into the distance, you might be able to make out one of the bridges that connect the western and eastern parts of Istanbul. I'm standing on about the 10th deck of the ship, way up at the front. As we sail into Istanbul, this is the magnificent view. In the left foreground is with the skyscrapers. You can see the that's the western side of Istanbul. And then as you pan across, you see across the water there, you see the, well, they're kind of red, mostly red tinted buildings. That's the eastern side of Istanbul. And the buildings are a lot lower. And then in the background, kind of in the, toward the right, you can see one of the two bridges that span the eastern and western parts of Istanbul. It was really a beautiful sight. This wide-angle shot shows or focuses in just on the European side of the city, and here we have a close-up of the Asian side of the city. As we were sailing past Istanbul, I looked up, and you can see across the Bosphorus on the horizon, it looks like mountains or snow. That's actually a fog that had settled in on the Black Sea, and it made it for a beautiful picture.